Let's talk about 5 steps to better speech and the ways that you can help your child with their speech development. These are practical things that you can do at home starting from today that will actively show you results. These are not aimed at a specific age group. They work really well for babies and toddlers and preschoolers too. Step number 1 is to play listening games. Before our children develop proper speech, they need to have really good understanding. It's the foundation of the way speech and talk is built. And to be able to have understanding, they need to be able to differentiate and tell the difference between different sounds. Playing listening games is a really practical way that you can help them to do this. You could do this on a walk outside and talk about what you can hear as you're walking along. You can play listening games at home with different sounds around the house. So for example, when the doorbell rings, you can identify, oh, ding dong, there goes the doorbell. Or when the oven timer goes beep, 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 can you hear the oven timer? Help your child to name and identify these sounds and tell the difference between them. This will all really help in the foundation of their speech. Step 2 is to play turn-taking games. This is because when we have a conversation, it's all about learning to take turns. I speak, then you speak, then I speak, then you speak. In order for children to understand this, we need to build a foundation again with turn-taking games. So this could be something like rolling a ball. Ask your child to sit a metre or so away from you and you can roll a ball back and forth. They can be really little, 6 months old, and you can start doing this as long as they're sitting up independently. Another great ball game for turn taking is to do a ball drop game. You could get a cardboard box and cut a hole in the top and then take a turn at dropping the ball into the box. Copying the action is another great turn taking game. I clap, then you clap, I tap, then you tap. They don't have to copy the amount of claps and taps, but see if they can copy the action that you do. Pat your head, rub your tummy, jump up and down, all of those fun action games. If your child isn't yet talking but they're babbling, you can have pretend conversations with them. So when they babble at you, you can babble back to them. Contrary to popular belief, baby talk like this doesn't impede speech development. It actually helps it. Step number 3 is to fill your house with talk. Make sure that talking is what your child hears from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to sleep. Sounds a bit exhausting, but it's easier than you think. You can do it really simply by reading books to your child. You can look at the pictures and talk around them. So explain what you can see, describe what you can see in the picture. Your child doesn't have to do it too, but they're learning that that's a skill that they can develop as they get better at speech. Singing songs is a fantastic way of aiding speech development, so make sure you try and sing lots of songs, even if you've got a terrible voice, with your little one. And then you can also narrate what you're doing, so talk about what you're doing, even if it's a mundane task, so that your child hears you talking and they just helps them to develop that speech further. Hello, I've got a cat tail here. This is Minnie. The next thing that you can do to fill the house with talk is to play together. If you play together, then talk while you're playing. Doesn't matter what you're playing, but just explain what you're doing or comment on the toy that you're holding in your hand. All of this speech is really beneficial for your child. Step number 4 is to model speech. Use phrases that you would like your child to use and they will start to copy you. One of the ways that children learn is by listening and watching us and then copying what they see and hear. You can use this to build on your child's speech. So, for example, if they say milk, you could say, "Would you like some milk? Mummy will get some milk for you. Here you go, a glass of milk. Isn't that yummy?" So you've built that word into several sentences, and if you do that for everything or almost everything that they say, then that will really help them to start to link those words together. You can also do this even if they're not saying a word by, for example, if they are finished their bowl of pasta. I don't know why we're all about food today, but if they've finished their bowl of pasta and they start pointing and vocalizing but not saying a word, you could say, "More pasta, please," So you're actually saying what they would be saying, and that will help them to understand how to use those words. Or if you give them something, you can say to them, "Thank you, mummy," and then you're modelling what you would like them to learn to say. To help them with this speech development, name everything that you can as you're moving around the house, when you're out and about. Point at things and name what they are so that your child learns the names of things and they associate those words with the objects. Step number 5 is to avoid focusing on common themes only. Things like shapes, colours and animal noises are all fantastic things for your child to learn, but they are not the foundations of speech. And sometimes we are pre-programmed to think that if our child can't say their colours or name shapes or do animal noises, that somehow their speech isn't at the level that it should be. While it's fine if your child can do this, there are so many more words out there. So it's not about developing these specific things. Any words that they say are good words. Hearing tests are an important step in determining whether your child has any speech development problems. Make sure if you have any concerns that you visit your health visitor or GP just so your child can get checked over. I made a video all about whether your toddler is talking enough. I will leave that linked here for you. Thanks for watching this video, everyone. Go and watch this one now. See you soon.